So apologies on this one. It's going to be basically a quickie, and I do tend to try to diversify content. I don't try to replicate as much as possible. So I try to put out some different stuff if I can, not just, repeat myself. But this is recent news, and it's apparently very solid. So let's get to the punchline. What is going on? There is some new casting news. Some of it is old, some of it is new. Now, if you know the show closely, we've already got news on Sir Cole, as well as Missaria. I hope I'm not butchering the name. But now we can add Graham McTavish, a Scottish actor. He's done Outlander, The Hobbit, and Castlevania for Netflix. And apparently he will also be joining House of the Dragon. However, with McTavish, we don't know who or what he is playing. Don't yet have images for either Frankel or Sonoya. Missaria is a former dancer from Lee's. And Masuno has done some interesting work, such as Annihilation, as well as Crazy Rich Asians, which I really want to finally get a chance to look at both of them, but I've been just, far behind and ironically doing this stuff, but hopefully I'll be doing something on that soon. Frank Gale's major thing is the Serpent, and he will be a knight for King Viserys, the first Targaryen, and he'll be part of the King's Guard. So we can kind of use Jaime and others as a baseline for the King's Guard, but again, we don't know. They may do some major changes to the armor. There is an overlap with the Targaryen outfits. They do look a lot like how Dany looked at the end, so there's some continuity there. But with the King's Guard, we really are just speculating. So why exactly they haven't shown anything with them in costume? Unclear. I do know that Frankel was a little late, so he was a bit of a late addition. So they were apparently just waiting in terms of casting Sir Kristen. So why? Unclear. But with the other roles, it was much earlier. I think actually Sonoya was announced fairly early, but they're still keeping her images and photos under lock and key, so we're not going to know what she looks like for quite a while, at least for now. They are definitely beefing up the cast, because so far I've not been very impressed. Aside from Olivia, I'm kind of pessimistic, but these are hopeful signs with Frankel and now hopefully McTavish. And so we shall see. He is playing. The news with Fabian Frankel and Sonoya Mizuno has been known for some time. So those have been locked in. As far as I know, we don't have any images for them at all, but they are locked in. But Graham is the real news. He has been suddenly added. But what or who he is playing, we don't know, and it's really not good to speculate. I would suspect this is going to be either a Lannister or one of the Starks. It's probably not Dorne, because again, people in Dorne tend to have darker skin. They can be light-skinned, so he might be playing somebody in Dorne or a Dornish man. But I would assume he's going to be playing somebody up north or one of the houses, because we don't yet see any news on the other lords or the other heads of houses, and I would assume that they're going to try to beef those up. So I think it's a high probability he's either playing a Lannister or a Stark, but we don't know. Now, I want to stress, this is actually a rumor because Dragon Demands tweeted out that he has been added, and Dragon Demands is pretty solid, but I tried Googling and confirming. So far, it's not been officially announced. So this is probably news ahead of time and ahead of the trades, as you call them in the industry, but I cannot completely confirm this with a lot of confidence, but it could be a rumor. But I am pretty confident that Dragon Demands does good research. He wouldn't just put this out there for no reason. But again, we can't yet say this is an official announcement, so there we are. But I'm pretty confident this is true. So if you are an Outlander fan or a Hobbit fan, then you're going to enjoy this a lot. I'm not a big fan of The Hobbit, but then I'm not a big fan of LOTR, the movies, period. I do think they're okay, but I don't think they're the greatest things in the universe, and The Hobbit to me is an atrocious mess. So I can't praise his past work, but who knows, maybe he's going to do some outstanding things with House of the Dragon. Again, it's a rumor. With Fabian and Sono, we are on much more solid ground. They seem to be very much confirmed, and George Martin even commented on Fabian being hired. So we can be pretty confident that they are going to be on the show, and their roles are not going to change. But with Graham, it's still a big question mark. We don't know what he's up to. We don't know what he's playing. They might even invent an entirely new character just for him. So that's going to be a big question mark for a while. But presumably, given that production has already begun, they're going to reveal a few things at least before he comes out completely. But we want to stress that the photos I showed were all true and authentic, but That's a lot of publicity stuff. They're not just shooting in England, they are shooting a lot of indoor stuff in California and other places, which would make sense given the restrictions with the virus and all those things. So, presumably, with Fabian and Sono, they're just doing a lot of indoor shooting at this time, but they have not yet given us anything in terms of what they're looking like, what the costumes are going to look like, or anything like that. It's unclear why they're hiding this stuff, but we don't really have anything on them so far. Again, maybe they've just gotten early news on the backlash because it seems like it's a very mixed reception with how they look with the Targaryens so far. But we'll wait and see. So there it is. Graham McTavish is coming to House of the Dragon. This has been a Red Wolf Media commentary on updating casting in the House of the Dragon for GRRM and Thrones Analyzed. If you like the content, please hit the like button and/or subscribe. Please share the content. Please follow on Twitter. I put things in the description if you can. Thanks again. Please be safe.